My deceitful ex-girlfriend was having an affair with her boss, and when she returned home late after another clandestine rendezvous with him, I finally busted her in the act. Be me, 29-year-old Tyler. Rain just stopped, but road still looks like black glass. Sitting in my car with engine off, watching condensation crawl up windshield like fingers trying to escape. Whole neighborhood is asleep. Every porch light dark except mine. Her heels clicking on wet concrete like tiny hammers in my skull. Don't move, don't even breathe. She doesn't notice car parked across street. Doesn't look around like someone with secrets. But she definitely has secrets. Walking like she's floating, like she just had perfect night full of drinks and laughs. In someone else's bed, she unlocks door and goes inside. Wait exactly 10 seconds, then follow her in. She came home at sunrise from hookup. Moment I flip the lights on, she freezes completely. Standing in middle of our living room, holding one heel in each hand, hair totally messed up, eyeliner streaked down her cheeks like black wax, dress wrinkled and sticking to her legs. Jacket she's wearing isn't hers. It's definitely a man's coat. My presence doesn't register at first. She blinks against sudden brightness, confused, maybe even dizzy. Then she sees me. I'm sitting in an armchair, not slouched or relaxed. Straight back, both feet on floor, palms flat on my knees, like I'm about to deliver judgment, which honestly I am surprised, I say. Her face goes blank for a second. Then something flashes in her eyes. Maybe guilt, but only for a split second. Before it twists into look I'll never forget. Not shame, not panic. Just irritation. "What the hell, Tyler?" she hisses. Drops her shoes on floor. "Are you spying on me now?" There it is. No apology, no explanation. Just that same Nicole tone she uses when I forget to buy oat milk. She starts taking off the coat like nothing happened. Already walking toward stairs. "Don't," I say firmly. "Don't take another step." She turns around with arms crossed, hip cocked to one side, looking at me like I'm toddler having tantrum. "Really? What are you even doing?" I stand up slowly. "I've been awake all night tracking your phone. Watching miles stack up on app you forgot you shared with me. Then I saw you stop at hotel off exit 23. Room 318. You stayed there for 6 hours. Want to try explaining again?" She doesn't even blink. "You're pathetic," she says flatly. "Spying on your wife like some obsessed creep." That word hits harder than anything she's done. Wife. Because last few months that word has been dying in my mouth. Every time I say it. Every cold shoulder, every late night at work, every sudden shower when she gets home smelling wrong. It all added up, and I swallowed it all. Because I thought maybe she was going through something, maybe just needed space. But no, she was just screwing around. Now she stands there staring at me like I'm the problem. I reach down and pick up black lace bra, found it tucked in back seat of her car. Not her size, definitely not hers. "Whose is this?" I ask. She narrows her eyes at me. "That's not mine." "You planted it there, didn't you?" And that's when it really hits me. Not just that she's lying, but that she rehearsed this whole thing. She planned to deny everything. Flip it around. Gaslight me into thinking I'm crazy. Like she's done before. Like she was ready to do again. But this time I'm not the same man. This time I have the full picture. And I'm just getting started. She stands in living room surrounded by silence, arms folded across chest like kid caught sneaking out. But with zero shame, all defiance. Clock behind her ticks past 6 a.m. Can hear distant hiss of traffic from highway. Nicole isn't flustered at all. She's not scrambling to explain anything. She just looks inconvenienced. "You really want to do this now?" she mutters, tugging at hem of her dress like she's bored already. "No, I wanted to do this months ago," I say. Pull small voice recorder from back pocket. Hit play. Her voice echoes through room, slightly muffled by whatever pillow she was speaking into. "Stop, baby. Don't wake up neighbors again." "No, not there. My husband might see it." Laughter, moaning, slapping sound, more moaning. I watch her jaw clench tight. But she says absolutely nothing. That recording was only 14 seconds long. Had enough integrity not to listen past that. Found it on second phone. The one I pulled from glove compartment of her car after she came home from yoga last weekend. With leggings on inside out and no mat. That phone told me everything I needed to know. Text threads with saved contacts like Dr. M and Client 4. Except there was no doctor. There was no fourth client. Just names like Blake, Vincent. Another one simply called K. She crosses arms again and leans against wall. So what? You dig through my stuff now? You're turning into real creep. I stare at her hard, trying to match face I married with voice whispering dirty promises into someone else's ear. There isn't even flicker of apology in her. She's stone cold. Worse than that, she's proud. Are you going to keep pretending, I say slowly, that this is my fault? She rolls her eyes dramatically. You don't get it. You never got it. You've been here in this house like ghost, obsessed with your little projects, your designs, your clients. Always home but never present. I can't help it. I actually laugh. That's rich. You disappear 3 nights a week, come back smelling like cologne and cheap bar soap, and suddenly I'm the one who wasn't present. Her voice cracks then, not with sadness but with pure fury. I was lonely, Tyler. You weren't lonely, I snap back. You were lazy. It was easier to find someone new than fix what we had. That breaks something inside her. Nicole drops coat, storms toward me, with that venom in voice I hadn't heard since night we fought. About her deleting messages from her ex. Oh, don't you dare act like I ruined some fairy tale. You've been living in perfect little illusion for years. And I was done playing house with man who doesn't make me feel alive anymore. My throat burns like acid. Stomach feels like it swallowed bucket of nails. No room left in me for sadness, just pure disgust. She turns away, still raging. You think you're the victim? Wake up. You were just pit stop in my life. Long, boring detour. She says it so easily, so rehearsed. Like she practiced this speech. Then she walks upstairs without another word. Not a tear, nothing. Just silence, and thud of bedroom door slamming shut. Like chapter ending. Except I'm not closing the book yet. Sound of her door slamming doesn't echo. It stabs short and final. But damage was already done long before it closed. I stand there feeling like I just got punched in stomach and handed manual on how to pretend it never happened. Don't follow her upstairs. Don't move at all. Just stare at spot where she stood, where she told me I was detour in her life. 7 years together. Vacations, birthdays, shared bank accounts, whispering about baby names on couch during storms, all reduced to pit stop. Disposable. Walk into kitchen with hands shaking. Sit at counter. Coffee machine still has grounds from yesterday. Hers, always too strong, always left on for me to clean. Stare at blinking red light. Must have sat there for 10 minutes. Maybe 20, who knows. Time was melting around me. Then comes sound of her feet. Calm now, descending stairs. Nicole reappears dressed in one of my hoodies. Like it means something. Hair tied up in that casual morning bun. The one she used to wear when we made pancakes on Sundays. She's holding her phone. You're not going to start calling people, are you? She says flatly. Won't even meet my eyes. Calling people like your mom, your friends. I don't need the drama. We can be adults about this. I almost choke on my own spit. Oh, you think this is clean break? Stand up, chair scraping behind me. You think you can vanish for night? Come back dripping in someone else's sweat. Call me detour and we just what? Shake hands and go to brunch with separate checks? Her phone buzzes. She glances down, doesn't even bother to hide it. Is that him? I ask. She smirks. Don't be childish. Right then I know there isn't just one way she says it. Way she holds phone like it's more honest with her than I'd ever been allowed to be. It wasn't just fling. It was lifestyle. Don't raise my voice. Don't touch her. Just ask one question. How long? She looks up for the first time that morning. Something twitches across her face. Maybe regret. Maybe just annoyance at being asked to admit it out loud. She sighs heavily. Since March. It was July. March, I repeat it like bad punchline. For months. Tyler, she says impatiently. With who? I press harder. How many? She turns away from me. That silence again. That damn hallway clock ticking. Like timer counting down death of everything we built. I'm not doing this with you, she says. Walking back toward stairs. I follow her. How many? Enough, she snaps, spinning around. Enough to make me realize I didn't miss you. Not once. Not for a single second. Her words are like razors cutting deep. She sees the pain in my face. She wants to see it. I was done with you months ago, she continues. Quieter now, but still sharp as glass. I just didn't feel like explaining it to someone who still thought we were living in Nicholas Sparks' movie. My mouth opens, but nothing comes out. What could I even say to that? She takes a step closer to me. You want to be victim, Tyler? Fine. Go be the sad guy. Go cry into your throw pillows. Tell your friends how evil wife lied to you. But you weren't exactly prize either. She turns back again, climbs halfway upstairs, then tosses one last grenade over her shoulder. And don't forget, you're the one who married marketing girl. I know how to spin this before you even figure out how to talk. Just like that, she's gone again. Not outdoor. Not to another man's arms. This time she just vanishes into bedroom upstairs. Like she owns it. And I'm still standing in the ruins. Don't sleep that night. Don't go to work either. Sit in living room like man who just watched building collapse from inside. Except rubble is made of wedding photos. Shared bank statements. 7 years of carefully folded lies. Upstairs she showers, sings, moves around. Like she's on vacation. At one point hear blow dryer running. Then drawers opening and closing. Usual morning rhythm, but nothing usual anymore. She walks back downstairs around 10:30 a.m., bag slung over one shoulder. Sunglasses on like she's heading out for mimosas. Doesn't even glance at me as she breezes past. Where are you going, I ask. Though answer is obvious. Out, she says, checking reflection in mirror by door. You don't need to know details anymore, remember? Still wearing hoodie of man you don't miss, I mutter. She turns halfway, smirks at me. That's because it's soft. Don't get sentimental. She leaves just like that. Door closed, car started, gone. Sit in that silence again. But this time it doesn't feel like collapse. It feels like war, because numbness is wearing off. Fog is clearing. What I'm left with is something sharp, focused. Not anger, not yet. Something colder. Resolve. Stand up, walk upstairs. Our room still smells like her perfume. Closet half empty now. She packed some things, took some clothes, few pairs of shoes, jewelry I bought her for anniversary last year, gone. But photo of us in Venice still on dresser, mocking me. Open the drawers. Everything left behind was hers to forget. Everything she took, that was what mattered to her. Bottom drawer, find her journal. Now I'm not kind of guy to read someone's private thoughts. Never have been. But this isn't private anymore. This is evidence. This is unfiltered version. One she wouldn't twist, spin, or polish for me. Flip to last pages. March 15th entry. K again. Can't believe how easy it is to feel alive with him. Don't even flinch when I lie to Tyler anymore. Maybe that makes me horrible. Maybe I just don't care. March 29th entry. Told Tyler I had migraine. Truth. Rooftop drinks then his place. The things he does to me. God, I forgot how much I needed this. April 11th entry. Sometimes I wish Tyler would just find out. At least then I'd be free of the pretending. Sit on edge of bed and reread those entries. Hand trembling, vision swimming in red and disbelief. She wanted to be caught. She invited it. She'd been chronicling it like summer romance. Not slow, deliberate poisoning of our marriage. Don't cry. Feel something far worse than heartbreak. Feel clarity. And with that clarity comes question I hadn't dared ask. What am I still doing here? Not in house. Not in marriage. I mean, inside this version of myself, this quiet, passive, trusting man who let his wife write ending to his story, with someone else's hands all over her. That guy, he was done. But this wasn't just about leaving. This was about how I moved from heartbreak to strategy. That's thing no one tells you about betrayal. Once tears dry up, you start seeing everything in clean surgical lines. You stop feeling, start calculating, not because you're heartless, but because you've been carved open. Now you're studying anatomy of what went wrong. Nicole thought she had control. She thought she had all angles covered. My silence, my loyalty, my reluctance to believe she was capable of this. But that was before. Call Natalie first. Not to tattle, just to confirm. Hey, I say as casually as I can. Weird question, but did Nicole stay over at your place last night? Long pause on other end. Tyler, no, she says carefully. She hasn't stayed here in, I don't know, months. Why? No reason, I say, but sure she can hear it in my voice. Then questions start from her side, but I'm not ready to answer them yet. Not until I have everything lined up. Spend next few hours digging. Pull up our shared bank statements. Her Uber receipts, credit card swipes. Hotel charges in city. Restaurant bills for 2 on nights. She said she was working late. Not just building case. I'm reclaiming stories she'd been writing without me. When she gets back around 4 p.m., Walks in with smoothie like she'd been running errands, drops keys and dish by door, like she had rough day. Doesn't even look in my direction. Where'd you go? I ask from couch. Out to see Kay. That makes her pause just slightly. Then she rolls her eyes. Still on that, she says, walking to kitchen. I stand up. I read your journal. That stops her cold. She turns slowly, like someone trying not to show how hard they just got hit. You went through my things. You went through our life. Tore through it like it meant nothing. Don't lecture me about boundaries. Her face twists with anger. You are unbelievable. No, I say. You wrote about hoping I'd find out. You said you didn't even flinch when you lied to me. You wrote about sneaking off to hotels. While I was designing nursery, we never started. Her mouth opens. Nothing comes out. Then something flickers in her. Still not guilt. She's cornered, not sorry. That was private. You lost right to privacy moment you started living second life in secret. Silence hangs between us. Then with almost no emotion she says, So what now? You gonna throw me out? File for divorce? Take half the stuff I don't even care about? And there it is, real Nicole unmasked. Not woman I married, not woman who whispered I love you under fairy lights, but woman who looks at me now like I'm burden she's done carrying. Don't yell. Don't plead. Walk over to side table. Pull open drawer. Place stack of printed bank statements on counter. Screenshots and hotel receipts too. She looks down, then back at me. What is this? Everything, I say. Everything you threw away. Then add, and everything I'm about to use. Because this isn't part where I beg her to stay. This is part where I remind her what consequences feel like. She doesn't speak for a long time. Papers sit there between us like dead body. Hotel receipts, text logs. Map of her second life printed and laid out with quiet precision. Her eyes scan them, but face stays blank, refusing to give me satisfaction of reaction. So now what? She finally says. You're trying to scare me? No, I say calmly. I'm letting you know I'm not fool you thought I was. She gives bitter laugh and steps back from counter. God, Tyler, you're pathetic. All this effort for what? You think you can embarrass me into being sorry? Don't move an inch. No, Nicole. I gave up on sorry long time ago. I just want you out. Words hang there heavier than either of us expected. She blinks. For a split second, I see something. Hesitation. Not sorrow, calculating. Like chess player realizing they just lost their queen. Might not make it to endgame. You're kicking me out? She asks. Arms folded now, voice sharper. This is my house. My name's on deed. Yours isn't. You moved in when we got married, remember? So yes, you're leaving. She scoffs loudly. You really think I can't make your life hell? You want to play legal games, Tyler? I can drag this out for months. I nod slowly. You could, but if you do, your little K and your hotel escapades become public record. I have enough to walk into any lawyer's office in city. Make sure you walk out with nothing. Her face twitches then, kind of twitch that happens when someone used to having upper hand finally feels floor shifting beneath them. You don't have the guts, she says. Quieter now, less venom, more uncertainty. You never really knew me, I say, stepping forward. You knew version of me that tried to love you through everything. Through your cold spells, your gaslighting, your manipulations. But that guy, he died somewhere between your third lie and fourth affair. She looks away for the first time. First time she doesn't have comeback ready. Where do you want me to go? She says. Doesn't sound angry anymore. Sounds like someone who isn't used to not having plan. I shrug casually. You seem to have no problem finding places to stay last 4 months. Ask one of them. She laughs, but it's dry, humorless. They weren't meant for that. They were just distractions. And I was what? The safe fallback? She doesn't answer. Watch her walk past me back toward stairs, but something has shifted completely. Her posture isn't as proud. Steps aren't as sharp. First time she looks like she might actually leave. When she turns at top of stairs to look back down at me, don't say single word, because I realize then there's nothing left to say. This isn't conversation anymore. It's countdown. She doesn't leave that day. Not really. Goes upstairs and shuts herself in guest room. One we never used. One with bare mattress, old dresser, fading yellow paint from when it used to be storage room. Doesn't slam door this time. Closes it like retreating army closing gate. For next 48 hours, house goes silent. We move like ghosts. Separate staircases, staggered movements. I use downstairs bathroom. She stays mostly in guest room, only creeping out to grab food. Stand in backyard for 5 minutes at time. Chain smoking and hoodie. She hadn't worn since college. She doesn't speak. Neither do I. But I watch quietly because she isn't packing. Her shoes, her bags, endless collection of serums and makeup untouched. Hasn't called any movers. No cardboard boxes. No goodbye. She's waiting. She thinks I'll cool off. That I'll break, get tired of silence. Weight of decision. She doesn't believe I have nerve to actually end it. Push her out, follow through. But that's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't just hurt, it hardens. On third morning, leave file on kitchen table before leaving for work. No, she'll see it. Inside is formal separation agreement. Proposed split of assets. Not generous, not cruel. Fair, professional, cold. Don't include note. Don't need to. When I get back that night, she's already waiting in kitchen. File open in front of her. Glass of wine in hand. Same wine we bought for anniversary last year. Uncorked like joke. Doesn't look up when I enter. You really did it, she says. More to wine than to me. You're really going through with this? Don't answer her. She swirls glass slowly. And here I thought you were just throwing fit. You thought wrong, I say? She smirks bitterly. You know what's funny? I used to imagine how this would go if it ever came to this. I thought I'd be crying or screaming or something. Lean on counter across from her. But you don't feel anything, do you? She finally meets my eyes. What I see there isn't emptiness. It's offense, like I robbed her of ending she wanted. You think I'm villain in story, she says. You made sure of it. I needed something more, Tyler. Something you stopped giving long time ago. I gave you everything. You just stopped valuing it? She sets wine glass down too hard. Little splash lands on file. Red stain blooming over typed word separation. Fine, she says. You want out? You'll get out. But don't pretend this is noble. You're not some victim rising above it all. You're just bitter that you weren't enough. Stare at her for long moment. You know what's sad? I say quietly. You could have just left. Could have looked me in eye and said it was over. I would have hurt, sure, but I would have respected you. She doesn't respond. Step away from counter. Instead, you gutted this marriage in slow motion. Lied to my face every day. Laughed with other men while I cooked you dinner. And now you're angry that I'm not crawling. She says nothing. Just watches me like she's memorizing scene for later. Turn and walk to hallway. I want you out by Friday, I say. I've already talked to lawyer. If you're not gone, I file publicly. She doesn't try to stop me, but I hear her whisper as I climb stairs. You always wanted to be good guy, Tyler. Let's see how long you can keep that up when you're all alone. Realize something in that moment. She didn't just destroy our marriage. She was going to try and drag me down with it. Friday comes faster than I expected. Watch calendar like fuse burning down. 3 days, then 2, then 1. Final morning, I wake up to silence. Her things still in closet. Don't even feel surprised. She'd packed suitcase night before, sure. Just one, though. But her shoes still lined up perfectly. Charger still plugged in by nightstand. Makeup bag still sitting on sink. Like she was just out for groceries. She wasn't planning to leave. Not really. Get back from work that evening. Find her in kitchen again. Same glass of wine. Same dress she wore to my brother's wedding 2 years ago. Back then she wore it like armor. Now it clings to her like taunt. I didn't find apartment yet, she says without looking at me. Didn't feel like rushing? You had week, I say firmly. This isn't surprise. I thought you might change your mind. She says it casually, like asking if I wanted Thai or pizza. Walk to dining room. Papers still there. Separation agreement untouched since Monday. Except now it's been folded once across middle. Crease running through line that says, effective date of separation. Friday, 5 p.m. Look at clock. 5:13. Nicole, I say firmly, you need to go. She steps into room, leans on doorframe like it's casual chat. I don't think you understand what happens if we go down this road, she says. Enlighten me. She walks over slowly, like predator circling. Not threatening, just sizing me up. You think I don't know how this ends? You get sympathy, sure? You'll tell your sob story to your little design clients. Cry to your family. Maybe even rebound with someone who says all right things. Stay silent. She leans closer. But you will break. And when you do, you'll crawl back to version of me you miss. And I won't be there. That's the point, I say. That you won't be. She steps back, eyes narrowing. Wow, you're really serious. I thought this was phase. You getting bold for once in your life. Point toward door. Take your suitcase. I've already changed locks on garage and disabled your key fob. If you're not gone in 20 minutes, I call my lawyer tonight. Her jaw clenches tight. You think you're big man now? Threatening lawyers. No, I think I'm man who finally knows who he married. She stares at me hard. Then she laughs. Low, bitter, broken sound with no real humor in it. Just pure venom. You know what's funny? She says. He didn't even mean anything. I just liked how easy he was. How not complicated he made everything feel. Great, I say. Tell that to your next landlord. She blinks hard. That stung her more than anything else I'd said, because Nicole never imagined version of this where she lost control of narrative. She always saw herself as one who got to walk away, while other person begged for closure. She picks up suitcase slowly, then turns to look at me one last time. You're going to regret this. No, I say, holding door open. I'm going to remember this. She walks out. Doesn't slam door. Doesn't even say goodbye. Just walks to her car and drives off. Stand there alone in quiet hum of house. That finally stopped lying to me. Silence after she left isn't peace. Not at first. It's kind of quiet that presses in on you. Heavy lingering. Settles into furniture, crawls along floorboards. Makes house feel bigger than it ever had. Too big. But slowly that silence begins to feel like oxygen. Walls stop watching me. Air feels cleaner. For first time in months, maybe years. Don't flinch when I hear front door. Because it's locked. Because she isn't coming back. Box up rest of her things that weekend. Every blouse, every earring. Every little souvenir from vacations that now feel like staged photos. Pack them with methodical precision. Surgical almost. Not because I want revenge, but because I need space. Not just in house, but in my mind. She texts on Sunday. Nicole, I left something in drawer by bed. Don't throw it out. Don't respond. Few hours later, another one. Nicole, are we really going to pretend like none of this matters to you? That one stays unread. Then comes the call. One ring, then two, then voicemail. She tries again, Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, tone changes. Nicole, fine. You want to play victim? Go ahead. But don't act surprised when I tell people real story. There it is. She'd lost control. Couldn't spin it behind closed doors anymore. So she was going to take it public. Reframe it. She always had that talent. Reshaping reality into something she could live with. Something she could sell. But this time I was ready. Already been to lawyer. Already opened new bank account. Transferred my half, shut down joint card. Lawyer had all the texts, screenshots. Second phone receipts. Even copy of her journal entries I'd photographed. She didn't know it yet. But she was firing blanks. All bark, no ground to stand on. More she tried to spin. More tangled she became. Mutual friend Danielle reaches out Thursday. Voice shaky. Hey, is it true what she said? What did she say? That you locked her out? Took her money? Cut her off after she confessed she was depressed. Close my eyes, breathe in deep. Of course she said that. She didn't confess anything, I say. She got caught cheating for months. Multiple people, zero remorse. She didn't get cut off. She got exposed. Silence online. Then Danielle sighs. She's telling people you were controlling, that you tracked her, watched her every move. She left her second phone unlocked in car, I say. Danielle hesitates. Do you have proof? I'll send it. And I do. The texts, receipts, audio clip. Everything but journal. Some things, even when exposed, should stay private. Later that night, Nicole tries again. Nicole, you just couldn't let it die quietly, could you? That was it. That was final message. No threats, no apologies. Just bitter echo of someone who finally understood. She wasn't going to rewrite ending. But I don't reply to her last message. That was moment it all turned. Silence wasn't avoidance anymore. It was power. For first time since entire nightmare began. I wasn't reacting to her, wasn't waiting for next lie, or next manipulation, or next carefully curated half-truth dropped like bait into conversation. I was done playing the game. People start reaching out quietly, carefully. Like they're stepping around crater left behind. Her cousin messages me. Someone I hadn't spoken to in over a year. She's been telling everyone you were emotionally unavailable for years, he writes. But honestly, I always wondered why she looked bored out of her mind at family gatherings. I didn't say anything, but I'm sorry, man. Others follow. Her old co-worker, neighbor, even her own sister Lauren, who I'd always suspected didn't buy Nicole's perfect girl image. Lauren's voice cracks on phone. I tried to talk to her. She just blames everyone else. Says you made her feel invisible. But Tyler, I saw her change. She used to light up around you. And then she just started treating you like doormat. Say nothing. Just let silence say what I couldn't. Nicole had spent years building a version of herself that relied on being adored. Her charm wasn't warmth. It was control, smile as shield, laugh as weapon. She knew exactly how to wear affection like costume. But now mask was slipping. Truth was leaking. With every person who reached out, I felt weight lift. House feels different too. Tension that used to hum under every conversation, every glance across dinner table. That's gone. I'm sleeping again. I'm eating. I'm remembering what music sounds like. When it's not being played just to drown out sound of cold marriage, even unpack some things I hadn't touched in years. Old sketchbooks, guitar, letters from my dad. Things she never had patience for. Things she once called time wasters. When I wasn't obsessing over her moods and whereabouts. Then this happens. Friday evening, come back from gym. See her car parked in driveway. She's sitting on front steps. Hoodie pulled over her head. Face pale. Plastic bag at her feet. Just sitting there like last few weeks hadn't happened. Step out of car and walk up slowly. You can't be here, I say. I just wanted to talk, she mumbles. I don't... She looks up. For first time, I see something almost like uncertainty, but not regret, not pain, just confusion. Like she still couldn't figure out how I slipped through her grip. I didn't think you'd go through with it, she says. Not all the way. I know. She stands, looks smaller somehow. I've got nowhere to go tonight. You have phone full of options, I say. Pick one. She flinches at that. Picks up bag slowly. Do you really hate me? Look at her long and hard. I don't feel anything anymore. That hurts her more than rage ever could. She nods once, then walks to her car. No goodbyes, no last words. Just door shutting and tail lights disappearing into dark. Go inside and lock door behind me. Final weeks after she left aren't marked by dramatic closures or emotional reckonings. No final text. No long attempts to rewrite narrative. Just absence. Long echoing stretches of it. Kind that lets you hear your own thoughts again. Honestly, that silence becomes sacred. Day official divorce papers are ready. Sign them without ceremony. Don't play music. Don't drink to celebrate. Don't tell anyone right away. Just drive to lawyer's office. Sit in same stiff leather chair I'd been sitting in for weeks. Put my name to dotted line. Her lawyer, whom I never met, but imagined wore same smug mask she always did, had tried to negotiate few things last minute. She wanted to revisit division of assets, push back on clause about journal not going public. She even had audacity to suggest I should acknowledge emotional harm in return. Decline firmly. Every bluff she tried to run crumbled. Second real consequences entered picture. That was Nicole's greatest weakness. She never expected to be held accountable for anything. But real turning point comes few days after I signed. Package arrives at my door. No return label. Just my name in her handwriting. Like she couldn't help but make it look personal. Inside are few things. Hoodie she'd stolen night she left. Her wedding ring, in little black box we never used. And note short, rushed. No salutation, no signature. I hope you find what you were missing. I wasn't it. Stare at it for long time. There it is again. Her final act of control disguised as closure. Note that sounds profound but really just dismissal. Deflection. Like she's trying to leave me with idea. That I was one who went looking for something else. That she just happened to fall into someone else's bed while I was distracted. But I don't respond. Don't need to. Instead box it all up. Ring hoodie note. Drop it off at donation center 2 towns over. Want it out of my house. Out of my story. Because I wasn't missing anything. She always had been. In trying to fill that emptiness with strangers and secrets. She hollowed out one person who would have stood by her, even when she didn't deserve it. Yeah, I'm not hollow anymore. I'm rebuilding quietly, patiently, not with vengeance, not with bitterness. but with clarity. Go for walks now, real ones. Not those fake walks around block I used to take. Just to get out of tension. Talk to my neighbors. Reorganize garage. Even plant something in backyard. Something small, just to see if I still know how to care for something. Watch it grow. Turns out I do. I always did. She just didn't see it. Or maybe she never cared to. Either way, I've started writing again. Not this story, not exactly. But pieces of it. Things I learned, things I lost. Things I'll never allow again. Because while she walked away thinking she won, I walked away with something she'll never have. Peace. It's been 6 months now. Sometimes I forget what her voice sounded like when she wasn't lying. Sometimes I forget what it felt like to sleep beside someone and not wonder if they were thinking about someone else. Forget in a way that feels like healing. Not like denial, but like distance. Like finally being far enough away from wreckage to stop inhaling the smoke. House is different now. Lighter, not cleaner. Nicole always obsessed over spotless kitchen. But freer, less staged. Less museum, more home. There are still traces of her here and there. Chipped coffee mug she left behind. Burnt spot on windowsill from one of her old candles. Don't remove those. They're just reminders. Not painful ones, just markers. Like mileposts on road. I'm not driving anymore. People keep asking me how I'm doing. Better now, they say. Like healing is straight line with finish flag. Tell them the truth. Some days are better. Some days I remember how easy it was to get used to being unloved. Some days I want to call her, not to reconnect, not to fix anything, just to ask why, not the why she rehearsed. Pretty version she gave her friends. Want the real one, the ugly one that only comes out when someone's finally honest with themselves. But I don't call, because her silence is more honest than her words ever were. Never got the grand apology, no handwritten letter begging for another chance, no doorstep confession, no tears, no admission of what she really did, or how she unraveled marriage like it was nothing but yarn. She didn't want forgiveness. She wanted freedom without consequence, and now I'm giving her both. Let her be someone else's chaos, someone else's regret. I've got other plans. A few weeks ago I met someone, not met, not dating, just shared conversation. She laughed at one of my jokes. Not polite laugh, real one. Something about it cracked open little window in my chest. Kind that lets fresh air in after long, stale season. Reminded me I still have something to give. That I wasn't the broken one. Nicole didn't cheat because I failed. She cheated because she never learned how to be full. She thought love was something you took to feel better, not something you built to feel whole. She was looking for adrenaline. I was offering peace. She wanted fireworks. I was building home. But now that house is mine again. Not because I kept it, but because I reclaimed it. Every room, every memory, every quiet morning where I make my own coffee, sit in my own kitchen and breathe. So if you're reading this, and you're still in middle of it, still trapped in gaslight blame games, slow drip of betrayal, I'll leave you with this. You don't have to rage. You don't have to scream. You just have to walk out of fire and close door behind you. Let them burn in world they built and go build something better.